What will the post-collapse society be like?
Well, according to the works of Dmitry Orlov, who witnessed the collapse of the USSR, and sees parallels within the US and by extension similar economies, there are 5 stages of collapse.
What is the first stage?
Stage 1, financial collapse. Faith in business as usual is lost. The future is no longer assumed resemble the past in any way that allows risk to be assessed, and financial assets to be guaranteed. Financial institutions become insolvent. Savings are wiped out, and access to capital is lost.
I see, that is already underway. What is the second stage?
Stage 2, commercial collapse. Faith that the market shall provide is lost. Money is devalued and or becomes scarce, commodities are hoarded, import and retail chains break down, and widespread shortages of survival necessities become the norm.
What is the third stage?
Stage 3, political collapse. Faith that the government will take care of you is lost. As official attempts to mitigate widespread loss of access to commercial sources of survival necessities fail to make a difference, the political establishment loses legitimacy and relevance.
What is the fourth stage of collapse?
Stage 4, social collapse. Faith that your people will take care of you is lost as local social institutions, be they charities or other groups that rush in to fill the power vacuum, run out of resources, or fail through internal conflict.
What is the fifth stage?
Stage 5, cultural collapse. Faith in the goodness of humanity is lost. People lose their capacity for kindness, generosity, consideration, affection, honesty, hospitality, compassion, charity. Families disband, and compete as individuals for scarce resources.
Stage 3 and onward sounds very alarming. Can you go into more detail?
Stage 3 collapse can sometimes be avoided by the timely introduction of international peacekeepers, and through the efforts of international humanitarian, non-governmental agencies. As Stage 3 collapse runs its course, the power vacuum left by the now-defunct federal, state and local government is filled by a variety of new power structures. Remnants of former law enforcement and military, urban gangs, ethnic mafias, religious cults, and wealthy property owners, all attempt to build their little empires on the ruins of the big one, fighting each other over territory and access to resources. This is the age of big men, charismatic leaders, rabble-rousers, ruthless Machiavellian princes, and warlords. In the luckier places, they find it to their common advantage to pool their resources and amalgamate into some sort of legitimate local government, while in the rest, their jostling for power leads to a spiral of conflict and open war.
What would cause these people to lose power and go to Stage 4?
Stage 4 collapse occurs when society becomes so disordered and impoverished that it can no longer support the big men, who become smaller and smaller, and eventually fade from view. Society fragments into extended families and small tribes of a dozen or so families, who find it advantageous to band together for mutual support and defense. If society prior to Stage 5 collapse can be said to be the historical norm for humans, Stage 5 collapse brings humanity to the verge of physical extinction.
Can we stop these stages of collapse?
While attempting to arrest collapse at Stage 1 and Stage 2 would probably be a dangerous waste of energy, it is probably worth everyone's while to dig in their heels at Stage 3, definitely at Stage 4, and it is quite simply a matter of physical survival to avoid Stage 5.
I'm not sure if I agree fully with that prognosis.
Some of what Dmitry Orlov wrote may resonate with you, and so you would tend to consider it closer to fact than it really is. Other things he wrote you might disagree with, and consider them just his opinion. Be that as it may. As far as your life is concerned, it is your opinion that matters, not mine.
Thanks for the prognosis anyway. I will research and think about preparation.
Please, if you want to have a more detailed understanding of what our post-collapse society will probably be like, and advice on how to prepare for post-collapse society, I strongly advise you to read and listen to Dmitry Orlov, Michael Ruppert, and Gerald Celente.
Links in the description box.